When I think about growing peanuts, I think of Georgia, the South, not Missouri, but we're here in Butler, Missouri, Southeast Missouri, to meet up with a good friend, Lee Lewis, and learn why he decided to give peanuts a try. Well, Lee, we are standing in one of your new peanut fields.
Yes.
But we're here in the Boot Hill of Missouri. New peanut grounds for you, but really for the states. How did you get started in peanuts?
Well, we basically were looking for a better profit center. Corn prices haven't been great for several years, and soybeans haven't either. And I was thinking about trying to grow some cotton, which cotton's grown not very far from here. And it was suggested to me to look into peanuts because Delta Peanut, a new company, was coming to Jonesboro, and our land looked like it would work for them, and here we are.
And here you are. You mentioned the land. Let's start with the land, because if we look down at our feet, this does not look like the dirt in Southwest Missouri, and it doesn't look like a few miles away when we were in rice country. This looks sandy. So what type of soil do you have here?
Basically, the sandier the better. When we dig the peanuts, it needs to come off of the peanut freely.
And similar to cotton?
Very similar to cotton ground.
So Delta Peanut moved into, it's a processor, moved in to Jonesboro, which you're just north of. And so you are, it's a farmer cooperative, so you're a member owner.
That's correct.
So you are premising so many acres, bushels, pounds. How do we measure a peanut?
Tons.
Tons, okay.
Tons. So
one or the other.
Yeah, so when Delta Peanut came out with their prospectus, it's just basically how many tons you can produce or think you can produce. And then it was so much dollars per ton to buy into Delta Peanut.
And so they're going in late April, early May. What's taking place during these summer months? What type of maintenance are we looking at? And how are you prepping the fields to even plant?
We make beds.
Okay.
It's better for when we dig them. Instead of on flat ground, they're already kind of on a hip. The ground's a little looser, and most of our land is furrow irrigated, water it down the row, so we have to have the hip anyway. Anyway, hip them, then we spray them several times. There's no technology in peanuts, no Roundup, no dicamba, no technology, so we're limited to...
And when you say technology, it's the fungicide, the herbicide.
Herbicides, mostly herbicides, okay, to keep the weeds down, the weed pressure down, and then we spray them twice with fungicide, insecticide, and keep them watered.
So, fast forward to early September, here we are, and it's about time to start harvest. You pulled up some peanuts here. Your scout was here earlier today, kind of advising you on what to do. So what was that conversation you had with him?
Well, we were hoping that we would start to dig what we call dig today. Some of these that are not mature, we're going to try to let them mature before the really mature ones begin to deteriorate.
But you're ready to dig these up today?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So let's pretend today's the day to be digging. You're not coming in with a combine and harvesting these like you would rice or corn or beans. What's the first step? We
have a machine that's literally called a digger. It digs them, and they go up a conveyor belt. I'm sure you'll have some pictures of it. Go up a conveyor, and it kind of shakes them as it goes up. And then when it gets near the back, it flips them over.
And then this laying above the ground.
It'll be laying just like that. And then we let them dry for 4 to 7 days, depending on temperatures. Today would be a great day.
Yeah, it's warm.
And then once they dry, we run a combine, which is not a traditional combine, it's specialty. But it basically pulls a peanut from the root and separates them from the plant.
So once the peanuts come in, what's happening?
So the peanuts have been laying on top of the ground for 4 to 7 days, and we bring the combines in. The green leaves are all died off. It's all dead, all dead. It looks completely different. The header has fingers, and it flips it in, and then it goes through a series of concaves, or rotors, let's call it, with fingers, and it basically just rips the peanut from the root. The peanuts fall to the bottom, which is kind of similar to regular combine, but then there's a fan that blows them into the tank.
Why are they blown and not ran through with an auger of some kind.
They try to almost never auger them just because of damage to the shell and the peanut.
Shell.
Yeah, so most of it's conveyor belts or air blown with air.
Now, are you storing any peanuts on farm like you would some of these other crops you run?
No, we do not. We put them into specialty trailers, like a box trailer, van trailers, 50 footers, 48 footers. And they've cut the top out of them, and we top load them, almost like...
So when they're coming out of the combine, I guess I skipped a step, because how do you get them from the field and the combine?
We offload on the go with the conveyor belt on the combines into a cart, and the cart raises up, literally just raises up and dumps them into the trailer. It's like if anybody on your show's been around cotton, the old cotton, when they bow buggies, they dump it just like that onto a van trailer, open trailer, cut the top out of, and it has a false floor, and they put fans on the trailers and dry them right on the trailer.
So even though they've dried in the field, there's still more of a drying process
that
needs to take place, and that takes place there at the processing place at Delta Peanut.
That is correct.
So, let's talk about what happens next. Who's buying your peanuts? What are these being made into?
Peanut butter and candy bars.
Peanut butter and candy bars.
These, the peanuts that we grow are not consumed in the shell like you would at a Cardinals baseball game or something. They're not for that. They are processed. They divide them into broken peanuts or really nice, pretty peanuts.
So broken peanuts go to peanut
butter.
Okay.
And then some of the nicer ones may go to candy bars and stuff like that.
So how's the process been so far? I know that there's been a lot of trial and error and you're figuring things out, but are you having fun with it?
Oh yeah, I enjoy a new challenge, something different, something we've not done. The guys that work for us have really enjoyed it. The community, you'd be stunned how many people have just watched us pick them, and they think it's interesting because it's so different. It's been good. We made a lot of peanuts last year. As the weather got wet in the fall, we started to struggle. They don't dry off good. They take longer. If it would rain, it may take 4 or 5 days for them to dry back off. We have a machine, a conditioner that your hay.
Yeah, we don't. We're in hay ground back home, so we would ted a field that got wet. So if these peanuts were laying there to dry, you would run the conditioner to fluff them?
It basically picks them up and puts them back down just to aerate them a little. But like hay, like you were telling me, that once they get wet, it's just a lot tougher to dry. And then as the year went on, the last 200 or 300 acres of ours were really a challenge. So we're trying to get in them a little quicker this year, and we're trying to learn from which Mother Nature we can't help, but
and that's farming every year,
we hope
right?
that she's better to us this year.
Well, thinking about planning, last year your first crop, you're in your second crop, planning for next year's crop. Your Delta Peanut's advising that you rotate your peanuts with every 4 years. So was this corn last year?
This was this particular field was rice.
Okay.
Believe it or not, but we went with corn behind last year's peanuts this year.
How's that corn looking?
It's been awesome. In the whole process of trying to get into peanuts, they everywhere we went, they said they're really good for the land. They're really good for rotation, and Mother Nature, there's some reason our corn's been really good. Corn, cotton, soybeans, we're gonna have to rotate. Like I said, 4 years is it's a long time to rotate when you've got 1,000 acres to move them around.
So you're thinking to put corn back here next year?
Depends on corn prices, but we may come back with rice. Rice has been really strong, and rice has been good to us.
So all in all, you're happy to now call yourself a peanut farmer?
I suppose so. Maybe ask me in a couple more years.
We'll come back next year.
Okay, deal.